Hi there, my name's Scott, and this little girl is Henley. She's 3 months old. I wanted to give you a disclaimer for the next 20 minutes. You'll be watching a video where we sand and polish cast iron skillets. And that might sound like something you're willing to do to your piece of cast iron, but don't do it on something that you could go to a collector and get a significant amount of money for. There's cast iron that is over 100 years old, and I don't want you to do this project on that item. I want you to sell that to someone or keep that for yourself. What I want you to do is consider doing this on a piece of cast iron that is of low quality. It's a good piece of metal, but it has a rough surface, and no matter how many times you cook or season that, it's going to still continue to have that rough surface on the interior. You're going to significantly change the cooking surface by sanding with 40 grit paper, 80 grit paper, then you're going to start polishing with 120 and then 220 grit. It's going to look like a shiny silver mirror finish on the inside, and it's not going to blacken initially the same way as your older pieces had done. So I want to make sure that anyone who's watching this video is not going to do this process on anything that they're not willing to make a mistake on, or they could easily get top dollar for from someone who's very interested in cast iron. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the video, and we know we liked it. Hopefully you'll like it too. Say bye.
This is my jig that I'm setting up, my mounting bracket for the cast iron. It's quite simple. Got a pretty large chunk of wood here that sits in a vise. I have a hook on one end of the pot and then a bolt with a nut and washer system. So I decided, because I'm in Calgary, it's minus 20 outside right now. The way this is pretty simple. I mount the bracket, I mount the cast iron pan, I put the Avanti Pro disc on there, I grind out the inside, getting as smooth as possible with this Avanti Pro disc, and then I will move on to the 40, 60, 80 grit, 120 grit, and then 220 grit, trying to get a nice smooth shine. Okay, here's a quick look at the mounting bracket that I'm using for the cast iron. You have a vise with a large chunk of wood. You've got a bolt with a washer combination here, and then you have a hook over on this side. And if we go around to the back side of it, if I can get it, you'll see that I have the hook going through that 2x4, and then on this side we have just the bolt. Sorry, if you notice here, there's a little slot. That's to create it bigger or smaller depending on the pot or pan I'm going to be mounting it to. Very simple design. Just quickly, I'll take a shot of the cast iron. You'll see kind of rough. And I have my two other pans here that I'll do also all at the same time. I'll use this Avanti Pro quick strip disc, 4-inch, onto my drill, and I'm going to just work it. Side. The washer on. The handle. Now we're just going to tighten that down until it touches the wood. nice and tight. Now, I've got the inside. I have to say, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. The disc, the Avanti Pro disc is just taking off all that initial roughness. But I think it will do better with that disc sanding setup that we got. It's a lot easier to get. There's no corners to get here, so it's so much nicer to get to. But I do taste metal. I didn't wear an N95 mask because I didn't think I'd really need it. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm dirty yet. So I do taste like iron. So still has those little, there's a little bit of a divot in here. And that wasn't from me. That's inside the metal when it was cast. It's not perfect, but that's not what I was going for here. I'm just going to take off the initial layer. Still a little rough there. You can see the pores all throughout. Okay, let's take a quick look at the griddle. I could just do the tops. I couldn't do inside, so it's still going to be rough on the inside, but this was just kind of a bonus. Okay, let's switch over. You'll notice that my hook here, I had to go backwards. The hole wasn't big enough, so I'm just kind of using it as a clamp, clamping it down to the wood, whereas the other side is definitely holding. So Diablo stick fast 5/8 sanding disc with the mounting bracket, and we're going to just slowly sand away. This is a lot grittier than the Avanti. I'm feeling it come off, and I'm not even really pushing that hard. So this is going to be quick work, I think. So wow, this is way better than the Avanti. Oh man, this is really good. I'm glad I started with the Avanti Pro, but this thing is just, it's like, it's going to be a mirror finish when I'm done with this. Really. You can see the metal coming off of it. Okay, I'll just go a little bit more and then we'll see where we're at. It's looking great, and I'm only at 80 grit. And it feels awesome. It feels, compared to when I started off, this thing, it feels amazing. This should be, wow, I don't know what to say. We'll see where we go. Okay. The only thing I can compare this to is like sanding floors. If you ever had to refinish your hardwood floors, you always gotta keep moving. You're never stopping in one spot because you're gonna really make a mark there. The pressure is almost like cleaning a floor, like waxing a floor, where you can feel it working itself and you're just kind of guiding it. So let's start off here. This is just the Avanti Pro quick strip disc. Took everything down, but you can still see the pores, like it's just taken off the top just a little bit, just enough to give me some experience with it. And then with the 80 grit, like this video isn't really doing it much justice here. I'm trying to get a incredible shot here, but you can see there's still pores, and I'm still going to work that until I get a little bit more ground down. But it's different. I've smoothed off all the rough edges, and I can continue on this path and just get it nice and smooth. This is just, I have to say, watching the videos is nothing like doing it. It should be 101 cast iron prep when you buy an old, very low value cast iron pan. Wow. Anyways, I'm going to keep going on this. Okay, here we go. But you see that dimple there? That dimple right there. You can't really feel it, but you can see it. It's too bad. I'll do the griddle, and then I'll start on the other grits. This is great. I'm loving this. I don't know if you can already see it, but it's starting to shine. It's so... Everyone's got to do this at least once in their life. You want to own a pan for the rest of your life that costs almost nothing? Buy a cheap cast iron pan, get a couple tools. I have to say, the one thing that's dying is this disc. The nice part of the soft edges is that it gets in the corners, but it will eventually die on me. So let's keep going. This is 80 grit. It's so smooth. Like, I would stop right here if I didn't have 120 or 220. It is so smooth. I've worked out some of the dimples. You might be able to see them. See how you can see my hand in the reflection? I'm not even at 120 yet. So when we get to 220, this is gonna be like a high quality cast iron surface. So I got a few spots, and I'll try and highlight them if you can see them. So right here, still that little dimple is still there a little bit, and right there it's still there. So I'm gonna go 120, and then 220, and then we'll start the seasoning process. I just can't believe how shiny it is, man. This is 220 on the cast iron that we did before. Now it's not perfect. You can see that there's places that I should probably spend a little more time because I just can't get to them. I have to say, probably should have wore a mask. I put like a shirt over my mouth for the first time, and then it was just not, it was so cold out there I was fogging up, so I took it off. I'm blowing out black out of my nose right now, and I taste iron. That's all I can taste is rust in my mouth right now. But trying to get different angles here. It's amazing what sanding cast iron does. And when I finally do the seasoning, I'm going to show that. You can see there's kind of like rub marks here, but you can't really feel that. That's just that'll go away when we do the seasoning. But it is smooth. Like, there are some dimples in there, but nowhere near what was there before. I went from 40 to 80 to 120 to 220 and spent a lot of time on all of it. I got it down. I could have spent a little bit more time at the 40 grit level. But I think I got them pretty smooth. The dimples that I have right now will fill in with a nice coating of seasoning. So, this is the pan. You can almost see yourself inside. I think I can see myself in the reflection of the window. That's how good it is. It used to look like this all over. It will again look roughly like this when it's seasoned, but that's 40, 80, 120, 220 grit with the Avanti Pro Quick Strip Disc. Is the 12-inch pan. Again, you can almost see yourself inside of it. That will eventually brown and blacken when we do the seasoning. It is amazing. It feels amazing. It's not rough at all anywhere on this pan. Now, one place I couldn't get really well is this griddle. I'll try and get a good shot here, but I got the stripes. That's about as far as I could go, but I think it's way better than I expected. This was a bonus for me, the griddle. These two pans will be used for pancakes, for cooking. I'm looking forward to using this, showing my wife what I did. She's in Phoenix right now. with the kids. So I had some time today to do this project, and I've been putting it together for about a month now, trying to figure this out. So thanks for joining me, and if you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. Thanks. One seasoning so far. You can see it's kind of yellowing a little bit. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it is starting to brown. Not as fast as normal, because it doesn't have all the pores, or at least the pores are more finite than before. I'm going for this. This is what I'm going for. But the grills, you can see, are still shiny. We're gonna make them nice and brown, maybe black by the time we're done. This is the third seasoning. You can see it's taking on more of a golden texture. You see that? That golden, it's browning, which is nice. Try to get nice and close there. You see all those little dimples are starting to fill in with the oil layers that I'm putting on. It's nice and golden. I think by the end of the week this is going to be a brownish color, but it is so smooth. Like, you could just see it. I'm so happy with the results so far. Very nice. The fifth seasoning, it's not really getting much darker, but I think it is getting smoother, like all the divots are being filled in. It feels very smooth, even though you can see the little divots. But they are starting to fill in ever so slightly. And this is probably a waste of time, but the grills are starting to brown. This is after the 7th seasoning. I stopped on the 5th on this skillet, but I stopped on the 7th on these two, and they're nice and golden. If I can get a good shot of it. Smooth. I get nice and close, you can see it. You can see the tiny remnants of the dimples that are left, little bumps that I've shaved off the concave structures in there. They're filled in with oil. It looks really good. Let's try and get that one there. You can see I had problems in the corners here. If I had a disc sander, if I had a palm sander, this would have been taken care of on the corners. I'll have to check and see how over time this cooks, but I think this looks great. It's not, I don't think, ever going to get black, but if it does, I will do an updated video. What a great project. I'd say this is about $80 worth of cast iron into, if it cooks well. My Finex pot was over $200, so we could say we have over $500 in metal here, in cookware.